Hello YouTube, this is VidHead85. Thank you so much for joining me here for this video. And this is going to talk about 15 reasons that 15 destructive elements that wrecked people's religious beliefs. So have you ever felt like, you know what, maybe I'm not praying enough, maybe I'm not, spiritual enough? Honestly, I almost wonder, like, if a system doesn't work, a lot of times Christianity has to tell us that we're the problem rather than the system is the problem. If the system is the problem, it needs to be known that the system is the problem. However, they will tell you that, oh, it works, you just have to work. And let's face it, it doesn't matter how optimistic you are. If you have a map of Tampa, you are not going to get anywhere in Detroit with a map of Tampa. You have to have the right foundation. So let's go into 15 reasons why people have that wrecked people's faith. Number 1, they received over $1 million in donations every week and spent it on elaborate props rather than helping the community, one online user said. Another says, my husband, who went to school for music production, said that the soundboards they had were a minimum of $1 million each, and they had 7 of them. The first thing I saw upon entering was a life-size bronze statue of the pastor. There's a mega church in Florida with a Starbucks in it. 2 bands, a stage, not an altar. They had a commercial break for Expo erasable markers in the middle of it. When I was 6, the pastor gave a letter to my mom saying that we were not donating enough money to the church. Another user recounts a similar experience, saying the church wrote a letter saying they knew how much money he was making and that he should be giving more to the church. When I was in middle school, a pastor created this chart showing what everyone should be donating each week or month based on your household income. I stopped going after, and my parents largely have too, and there was a real blow to them to see something so asinine. Only God has the right to judge, yet religious people are some of the most judgmental people you've ever met. Also, if you've been to a church, they all gossip about each other. My mom was a church organist, or choir director for a long time, and I got to know many of the members. Some are the fakest people I've ever met. Being told that SA was good as God needed to teach me a lesson. I was 7. When my sister-in-law got her master's in counseling, one of the professors said that many predators hide behind the facade of the big church guy. He said that they will purposely seek out a board position or similar so that people won't question his actions. The non-answers to all my questions as a kid. You just have to have faith is a dumb way to respond to an inquisitive mind. When I was a kid, I asked my grandmother where God came from, and she smacked me across the face and said, "We don't ask questions like that." I was just being curious, and her reaction shocked me. In school, we learned about the Greek gods, and I was like, wait, hold on. There are other gods? It was explained that, oh no, it was a long time ago, and they just didn't know how the world worked. So they made up these gods as explanations. And that led to a lot of questions about how we know God is real then. Some people believe that being religious makes them better than the non-religious. When I left the church, I was persona non grata. None of the members will even look at me now. There's this Christian radio my parents listened to, and when the hosts were talking about some gathering, they referred to non-believers as icky people. Religious leaders ruined religion for me. Another says, I've never met a single priest who could tell me about heaven, but they all knew every square inch of hell. They should know. They built it. When the pastor started ranting about the evils of women, saying that Satan walks among us in the body of every female and men must take measures against them, I don't think everyone in the faith is like that, but it was one moment that ruined religion for me. especially seeing his wife react to the sermon with such support of the message. It was one of those defining moments in my life, a very negative one. It became very evident that many people who call themselves religious only do so to feel morally superior to others, and use that superiority to try to control everything. Seeing people use religion as an excuse to be bad people. I was 15. My father had been diagnosed with ALS. I had gone to a youth group and they had a circle of teenagers talking about things going on in their lives. When it was my turn, I shared that my father was dying. I was angry and said something like, I doubted there was a God if this was happening. I got chewed out for questioning God, and the kids refused to talk to me for the rest of the night. You'd think I would have killed someone. It was that strong of a reaction. So those are 15 ways that people's faith were undermined easily, and you know what? This is the thing. A lot of church folks are saying it's Satan doing overtime. No, you're driving people away from the church. It's so much easier to believe that somebody else is doing something horrible, but it's you. You are the problem. And guess what? A lot of those people, a lot of religious people will not have, or at least very selfish people will not have a self-reflective view, and they will say that it's the devil. It's always some non-qualitative, non-quantitative, somebody that you can't look at and say it's you. They need to look in the mirror, because honestly, every single one of these things are driving people from the faith. And I remember seeing this this thing that said, it is because of you that the name of God is blasphemed all day long. And really, it gets to me when people would rather put away the person who's asking questions than to actually answer the questions or say, I don't know. Too many people have been excommunicated and thrown out of churches because the pastor or whatever isn't willing to say, I don't know. All right. Talk to you soon. See you later.